There's an old saying, not every stray comes looking for food. Some come for something else. Marlene lived alone at the far end of Shady Pines Trailer Park. It was the kind of place with silence pressed against the thin aluminum walls, shutting out just enough of the ruckus for her to hear Big Jim and Betty's weekly rounds, but little more. On this particular night, as Marlene was carrying in groceries, she set the bag down to get the door, and her gaze fell upon a dog. He was a homely old thing, just sitting there over by the azaleas, watching with curious blue eyes. She didn't think much of it at the time, but when she saw the dog still there in the morning, Marlene tossed him some table scraps and, well, that began their relationship. Was it loneliness or a need for companionship? I couldn't tell you. But Marlene and that old mutt became fast friends. She called him Old Blue Eyes. Days passed. At first, Old Blue Eyes seemed protective, growling at strangers, chasing off drunks who wandered too close. But neighbors began whispering, because at night, when the porch lights failed, that dog's eyes glowed. It wasn't long before folks started noticing something else. Neighbors began disappearing. An 18-year-old from Lot 4, an old man from Lot 9. No signs, no screams, just gone. The residents of Shady Pines couldn't help but attribute these strange occurrences to the arrival of Old Blue Eyes. Fear spread like wildfire. Some said the dog carried death on its back, a bad omen, padding from trailer to trailer. Get away from me, they'd call out if the dog got too close. And then one morning, Marlene awoke and went outside to find Old Blue Eyes digging furiously at a hole in the ground. She shooed him away only to discover bones. Not animal bones, but human bones. Was Old Blue Eyes a killer? She couldn't turn him in. She'd grown to love the dog. So she kept the discovery of the bones a secret. But that secret weighed on Marlene day and night. Whenever Old Blue Eyes was out of her sight, she couldn't help but wonder, what was he up to? And then one night, when the fog rolled in thick, there came a scratching outside her trailer door that woke Marlene out of a fitful sleep. She opened her door to discover Old Blue Eyes at the bottom of the steps, gazing up at her, his muzzle slick with blood, his belly swollen and distended, and his eyes were filled with rage. A guttural growl started deep in the back of his throat, forcing Marlene to take a step back. She began realizing her secret was turning into her nightmare. No, she cried softly as she backpedaled into the trailer. But then she saw that the dog's growls were not at her, but at something in the bushes. And there, outside her trailer, through the fog, Marlene saw it. A monstrous shadow of a thing, a towering beast who shape-shifted as it bent at impossible angles. The thing was clearly injured, but it had set its hungry eyes on Marlene. Old Blue Eyes shot Marlene a loving gaze and attacked. The growls of the dog and cries from the monster rose into the night, higher and higher. And then, as the fight reached its crescendo, silence. In the morning, Old Blue Eyes was gone, never to return again, and with him went the terror that haunted Shady Pines. Some nights, as Marlene sits outside enjoying the evening air, listening to the buzz of mosquitoes as Big Jim and Betty go at it again, She can't help but wonder what would have happened if old Blue Eyes hadn't shown up when he did. She's certain she and her neighbors would have become sustenance for a monster who has now taken up residency on the crossroads.